Have you ever wondered if there are places on this earth so unbelievable that just thinking about them sends chills down your spine? Waterfalls that spit fire from the ground, lakes as white as milk, clouds hanging downward instead of above, and tunnels carved between mountains that look like the mouth of a dragon. This is not CGI. This is not science fiction. This is our own planet, which still hasn't stopped surprising humanity. Today, we're going to visit 10 impossible corners of the world where nature itself broke the rules. Some places are so beautiful they don't even look real. Some are so dangerous that no one dares to go there. And the most shocking part, most of these places are in our neighboring country, China. Yes, brother, China didn't just make cheap products, it also created impossible landscapes. So get ready, subscribe to the channel, and let's travel to places where maybe human feet can go, but the heart stays behind forever. Baicheng Flame. Spring. Imagine standing beside a clear stream of water, and suddenly flames start rising from it. This is Baicheng Flame Spring, located in China's Xinjiang province. Here, water and fire flow together. And no, this isn't magic, but an incredible geological phenomenon. Beneath the ground are layers of natural gas. When this gas escapes through cracks in the earth and meets a spark, flames rise straight out of the water, as if someone literally set water on fire. Local people call it the breath of the earth. For centuries, this spring has kept burning without interruption. Rain, snow, nothing can extinguish it. Imagine what the first nomad who witnessed this sight must have thought. Probably that some invisible force lived here. Scientists explained it, but even today, when you see it with your own eyes, all science disappears from your mind. Only one thought remains. Is this even real? And yes, if you love camping, this place basically gives you a free gas stove. Just don't forget to make some tea. But if the combination of fire and water amazed you, the next place will take you into a world straight out of a fairy tale. Emerald Salt Lake. Located in Haixi, Qinghai Province, Emerald Lake, also known as Yiliping Salt Lake, looks as if someone spread colorful sheets of glass across the ground. This is actually a salt lake where different minerals and algae paint the water in different colors. As the temperature and mineral concentration change, the colors also shift, like a living painting. The lake sits at an altitude of 2,600 meters on the Qinghai Tibet Plateau. Reaching here is not easy. The roads are rough and high up in the mountains, but anyone who reaches this place never forgets the view for the rest of their life. Standing beside the lake, you realize that nature doesn't need an artist because nature itself is the greatest artist. During sunset, when the sunlight reflects on the colorful water, the scene becomes so surreal that even cameras fail to capture its true beauty. Looking for the perfect Instagram location? Take a selfie here, and you won't even need filters. Now let's leave this colorful dreamland behind and move toward a place where a mountain carved its own doorway to the heavens. Tianmen Mountain Cave. Located in China's Hunan Province, Tianmen Mountain, also called Heaven's Gate Mountain, has a natural arch at its peak that is 131 meters high and 57 meters wide. This is known as Tianmen Cave. In 257 AD, a massive geological event caused a huge section of the mountain to collapse, creating this gigantic natural cave. Local people believed it was a sign from the gods, and since then, the place has been considered sacred. To reach it, visitors must climb 999 steep steps, known as the Stairway to Heaven. And while riding the cable car, the view is so terrifying that you might feel like closing your eyes. But when you finally stand beneath the arch and look up, it feels as if the mountain itself has handed you a ticket to the sky. Base jumps have been performed here. Aerobatic planes have flown straight through the arch. Once, even a helicopter passed through the cave, leaving spectators stunned. And yes, after climbing 999 steps, if you feel exhausted, don't worry. There's also a cable car. Just don't look down while riding it. After seeing Heaven's Gate, let's move to a lake so white that your eyes refuse to believe it's real. Milk Lake. Inside the Yading Nature Reserve in Sichuan Province lies Milk Lake, also called Niu Nai Hai. Sitting at an altitude of 4,600 meters, this lake is formed from melted glacier water mixed with suspended glacial minerals, giving the water a milky white appearance. This phenomenon, called glacial milk, occurs when extremely fine mineral particles, especially calcium carbonate, dissolve into the water. Under sunlight, these particles make the water appear opaque and glowing white. Around the lake stand snow-covered Himalayan-like peaks, Chenrezig, Jampayang, and Chanadorje, all considered sacred in Tibetan Buddhism. That's why this entire region is a pilgrimage site for Tibetan Buddhists. Reaching the lake requires a 14-kilometer trek at altitudes above 4,000 meters, where even breathing becomes difficult. But those who make it say every step is worth it. Sitting beside the lake and seeing your reflection in that milky white water is an experience impossible to describe in words. It can only be felt. And if you're thinking about making tea with that milk, well, at 4,600 meters, water doesn't even boil properly, so your tea would stay half-cooked. Leaving behind this milky wonder, we now descend into an ancient city that has floated on water for 1,000 years. Tongli Ancient Town, a city where there are no roads, only canals, where boats replace cars, where every house is connected by bridges. Located in Jiangsu Province, Tongli Ancient Town is one of China's most beautiful water towns. This city is over 1,000 years old and is surrounded by 15 lakes. From these lakes emerge 49 canals, turning the town into a giant watery maze. It is called the Venice of the East. But people who have visited both places say Tongli feels much more peaceful and authentic. Here, you'll find centuries-old mansions, stone bridges, and elderly people rowing boats to the market every morning. The town has 49 bridges, and the most famous are Taiping, Jili, and Changqing. Weddings here traditionally involve the bride and groom crossing all three bridges together, which is considered lucky. Entering this town feels like stepping into a time machine that dropped you 1,000 years into the past. Moss-covered walls, lotus flowers blooming in canals, and an ancient fragrance in the air that almost smells like history itself. And honestly, Google Maps is useless here because there are no proper roads. The local boatmen are basically your GPS. From this ancient city, we now climb toward a mountain whose rocks glow red as if the mountain itself were on fire. Yanzhi Mountain, located in Gansu Province. Yanzhi Mountain, also called Red Rouge Mountain, is a stunning geological wonder. Its rocks are so rich in iron oxide and mineral pigments that they appear intensely red. It is part of the Dangxia landform, a special geological formation found mainly in China. Millions of years of erosion shaped these mountains as if a sculptor spent eternity carving them. The name Yanzhi comes from an ancient Chinese cosmetic used by women as red blush, meaning the mountain was literally named after makeup because of its color. During rainfall, red-colored water flows down the rocks, making it seem as if the mountain itself is bleeding. The sight is so dramatic that it leaves visitors speechless. This mountain lies near the Silk Road, and ancient caravans used it as a landmark for navigation. And yes, if you think these colors are photoshopped, local tour guides are already tired of hearing that question. From these fiery red mountains, we now enter a completely different world of ice and stone. Laigu Glacier, located in Basu County, Tibet, Laigu Glacier is one of China's largest modern glaciers. It flows directly into a blue-green glacier lake called Ranwu Lake, creating one of the most breathtaking natural scenes in Asia. The glacier's ice tongue, the lower section stretching toward the lake, extends for several kilometers. When giant chunks of ice break off and crash into the water, the sound resembles an explosion. Surrounding the glacier are peaks over 6,000 meters high, permanently covered in snow. These mountains have fed the glacier for thousands of years through rivers of ice. But due to climate change, the glacier is melting rapidly. In the last few decades, it has retreated several meters. Scientists warn that if this continues, future generations may never witness this incredible sight. This glacier is not just beauty, it is also a warning from nature itself. Carrying this warning in our hearts, we now walk onto a road that looks like a dragon coiling around a mountain. Panlong Ancient Road. Located in Shanxi Province, Panlong Ancient Road, meaning Coiling Dragon Road, is a 2,000-year-old mountain road carved by humans during the Han Dynasty, using nothing but hand tools and stones. The road cuts across steep cliff faces, and from above resembles a giant serpent wrapped around the mountain. That is why it was named Panlong, meaning coiling dragon. On one side is a solid mountain wall, and on the other side, a terrifying drop hundreds of meters deep. The people who built this road were our ancestors. Without machinery or modern equipment, they forced the mountains to make way through pure determination. This road was once part of the Silk Road, traveled by merchants, armies, and explorers. Every stone here carries the footprints of thousands of years. And honestly, Google Maps labels this place as just a hiking trail, which might be the understatement of the century. From this dragon road, we now look up toward the sky, because the next wonder floats above us. Mammatus Clouds. Mammatus Clouds get their name from the Latin word mamma, meaning breast or pouch. These clouds are among the rarest and most dramatic weather phenomena in the world because of their hanging bubble-like formations. They form when ice crystals and supercooled water droplets collect beneath cumulonimbus clouds. Turbulent air currents push them downward, making the underside of the sky look like giant bubble wrap. These clouds often appear before severe thunderstorms, meaning if you ever see them, something powerful may be coming. Photographers and storm chasers travel thousands of kilometers just to capture them. They are most commonly seen in the Great Plains and Kansas in the United States, where intense storms frequently occur. When sunset light hits these clouds, the sky transforms into something that feels alien. Orange and pink glowing clouds hanging upside down, creating a strange mix of horror and beauty. The weather app may say partly cloudy, but seeing Mammatus Clouds feels more like the sky itself is about to descend to Earth. And finally, after exploring the wonders of the sky, we arrive at our last and perhaps most mysterious destination, Bamiyan Mountain. Located in Afghanistan's Bamiyan Valley, Bamiyan Mountain is not just a geographical location, but a witness to an entire civilization. Its sandstone cliffs contain thousands of caves that once housed Buddhist monks. Between the 1st and 6th centuries AD, 2 gigantic Buddha statues were carved into these cliffs, one 55 meters tall and the other 38 meters tall. At that time, they were the largest standing Buddha statues in the world. Travelers from across the Silk Road came to see them. In 2001, the Taliban destroyed these statues using explosives and artillery. A 1,500-year-old heritage disappeared within hours while the world watched helplessly. But the empty niches where the Buddhas once stood still speak today. UNESCO declared Bamiyan a World Heritage Site, and several countries continue discussing digital reconstruction and restoration projects. Even now, Bamiyan Valley remains breathtaking, with towering sandstone cliffs, green valleys, and an atmosphere that feels alive with history. The people living here still hope that one day their valley will regain the glory it once had. Bamiyan reminds us that every impossible place on Earth carries its own story. Some stories are joyful, some painful, and it is our responsibility to keep them alive. Friends, today we explored 10 impossible places on Earth. Our planet still has the power to surprise us. We just need to keep our eyes open. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And tell us in the comments, which of these 10 places would you most like to visit? See you in the next video on another impossible journey.